Hey, beautiful people. My name's Amber Noel, and this is A Nanny's Life.
So, for one, I would love to hear sort of your outlook on going from being a nanny to becoming a parent. And then we're going to talk about mom. So, first, talk about your journey to becoming a parent.
I think the crazy part, like you said, was you have all this knowledge as a nanny, and you've seen so many different kids, and you think you have it all down, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought like sleeping is a good, like napping is a good example. I thought I've seen all the techniques on how to sleep train and what works, and I think I even said it out loud to my mother. I said, but mom, no, like it really comes down to a technique. Nope, it is not. It does not. So it's funny how I almost have separate brains. I have the nanny brain and I have the mom brain. And I have to say those two work great together because I could go to the other side and be like, wait a second, I know what this is, and I can think rationally. But ultimately, when you have such big emotions tied to this specific child, because it's so different, because it's your own child, it doesn't really quite matter. You're just a mom. You're just a human in the end. But I love that I have the experience, and I do think that because of the experience I have, we avoided the initial shock that comes with parenthood. Do you know what I mean? So in a way, I felt prepared.
Yeah. And I think, being a nanny first and then becoming a parent, you really do learn that compassion for parents that is sometimes hard for nannies who don't have children. I think we are very judgmental of parents. I will include myself. Sometimes because we're thinking about our job and our, working conditions and what would make our job easier. And sometimes we just don't consider just the emotional connection, the investment that parents have into their children, the sleep deprivation, the sensitivity to the kids' needs. Because, I can listen to my nanny kid cry. It hits different if their parent is listening to them cry, and I
Yeah.
think we're so quick to get frustrated when parents act like parents as opposed to nanny bosses. um
Yeah.
but it really is a difficult thing to juggle. But I have loved watching you journey into parenthood. That baby is the cutest thing in the world.
It's such a wild ride, and I'm still learning, even after 9 years of being in this industry. And I want to be the first to say that it's okay to admit your mistakes. Like I remember as a nanny, there used to be a time when I would be annoyed by the fact that the mother would come and check when I was with their child, when the child was crying. And like you said, each kid's so different. When your child is crying, of course you're gonna want to check. So a lot of the nannies, I think we have this like we know it all, and this is how parents should act. I think you're 100% right. Like let's give them some grace because being a parent is so hard, and I bet you every single parent in this earth is. I would hope so. Is trying to do their best. Is trying to do what they can.
I have, listen, COVID taught me to just let it fly because I had a pretty strict rule about work from home parents. It was a no. It was a negative. Nope. If you're in the house, I'm not in the house. And of course, we ended up spending a couple years under the same roof at all times. And my bosses are great about trusting that I'm doing the right thing, trusting that I have it under control. We have a lot of years under our belt. But at the same time, like there still will be moments where I'm with the kids and they are losing it. And one of my bosses will just call the kid to come to them. And it's one of those moments as a nanny where you can either get frustrated that you weren't allowed to handle the situation, or you could just be grateful that no one is screaming in your face anymore. And I have learned to just be grateful that they're not screaming in my face anymore.
Thank you for sharing that because I think that's so awesome. Yes, it's a team effort. It's teamwork, isn't it? And obviously there can be situations when it's not okay, but I think that we are a team and we need to give both of us should have some grace. It's such a tricky profession though because you are in such an intimate space. You are in their home, in the middle of their family. So yeah, it's really not easy, but it's so wonderful at the same time, right?
I love it. And okay, so I'm most excited to talk about this because you shared that your mom came over for a while to hang out with you. And there were several culture shock moments that you guys kind of walked through together where you were like, Mom, this is just how it is here. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. She is actually coming again in 2 weeks. So I'll have
Yes.
more on that.
Yes. I will be tuned in.
So yeah, so my it's so funny how I've integrated in 5 years. I've Americanized in just a short 5 years, and my mom was pointing out things that I was like, wow, you're right. One of the big things that she would not stop talking about was like, where are the sidewalks? Why is there no sidewalks here? And then she would ask, she was like, but Ty, how, my husband, like, how are people supposed to go through these steps when they are pushing the stroller in the winter time? And my husband had to explain to her, like, they're probably not. So there was a lot of, like, little daily things. Another thing that was really funny was we were house shopping. And my mom was with us when we were house shopping, and she's looking at these houses, and she's like, but where is the mud room? And I'm like, Mom, there's no mudroom. She's like, you walk into the door and you're in the living room. Where are you gonna put the snowsuit? And because in Finland we have a whole mudroom because you've got your snow gear, you got your snow boots, and she's like, it's gonna get all muddy. You have to put the wall here. It was just so
And
funny.
this is a nanny's life.